Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? Kunal here, Bulls on Wall Street. Guys, I'll keep it short and sweet today because not a terrible amount to go off of today. You know, we had this gap down into the market due to the CPI numbers, and the CPI numbers have been coming in a little bit hot for quite some time now, the last couple of times. It's like a 0.1 uptick, but it's enough to kind of goose the market. So we were expecting 3.4. We got a 3.5, and lo and behold, here we are. And it was just a kind of a gap down and crap day. We were down a lot more in the pre-market, and then we just kind of really sat around. And guys, this is, we've been talking about this for a long time. We are in a state of distribution in the markets, just a slow, I wouldn't say topping out, but distribution would be the proper term, where you're consolidating these gains and you may even come down a little bit and, back and fill some of this area. Does not mean that the bull market is over, but this is a time of caution. The trading is tricky. The CPI comes out, you get this gap down. You even did a little bit of an opening range breakdown here on the, third candle or fourth candle. And then, the algos come in and spike this thing up. And we're seeing that a lot lately, where you're just like, the old kind of breakdowns and stuff like that are not happening because the market is still showing signs of confliction. That's a little bit more of a bull market tactic, right? So like when you're in this phase of the market, if the market gaps down and you're kind of shorting the ORBs and stuff, it'll work really, really good. And it can work now, but because we have conflicting signals, which is, your primary trend is up, right? Your intermediate term trend is sideways. And then, your short-term trend is also kind of sideways to even slightly down. So you don't have trend alignment on any time frame, and so you're getting this kind of choppy action where the gaps fade to the upside, but they also, don't really follow through to the downside, right? And so that's the range action, right? It's the penis in between us. It's like sitting in the back seat, right, of your buddy's Volkswagen. You're not left nut. You're not right nut. You're definitely not shotgun. You're just like kind of cocooned in the middle. You're a big dude. You got your no elbow space. You got nothing. No elbow room. You're not even by the window. Your buddy probably, if he's got Volkswagen Beetle, don't even got air conditioning. You're just sitting there right there, just sweating and percolating and hoping by the time you get to the party that nobody notices that the stinky person is you. And that's where we're at. We gapped down this 50-day moving average. We just could not break under, right? And the 50-day moving average support is support for a reason, right? It sometimes will hold. So the action was choppy. There's not much to say about it. Guys, I will go on YouTube Live tomorrow, 8:45. I'll post a link in the bottom here so that you guys have this. So, with PPI tomorrow, we're going to gap again, basically. So we want to be, get together live because the watch list is meaningless right now. I just want to go over the indexes with you. And you can see here, so with the IWM, you've got yourself just a giant poo-poo platter of despair over here, which is you've broken under the 50-day moving average. You're at the lower Bollinger Band and kind of this, I don't know. Look, if you fucking close your eyes long enough, you can always see some level of support, right? You get yourself enough beers and you tilt your head enough, you'll always see support. And so you're kind of in this kind of support zone. Dude, I hate people that do air quotes, and I just did it, right? It's like the people that do air quotes are like the people like on Twitter that say like, just to be honest, and then they say something super rude, and it's like, dude, we know you're a jerk. Like, you don't have to say, just to be honest, and then say, like, anytime somebody says, just to be honest, what you're really saying is you're a liar. Like, if you have to start some sentence with, well, I'm just being honest, well, you're indicating, at least to me, that you're a goddamn liar, right? And that don't fly around here, man. We're good, God-fearing Christian folk over here at Bulls on Wall Street, I'll tell you that. So, dude, we're in a little bit of a weird spot. Frankly, we'll see. The market's going to gap tomorrow. Whether it gaps up or down, we don't really know, and that'll kind of give us a little bit of tell. But we're just at some weird spots. My guess is, And it's just an education guess that we got to get down into the 50-day moving average on the SPY, and then, we'll have maybe a little bit of bounce. But look, if you really look at the magnitude of this run, like this is just a small bit of choppiness, and, it feels like some are trading tactics, and that's what's kind of happening here. And so there ain't much to do just yet. We got chopped on some trades, took some okay trades. There were some decent ones here. We were playing this AMD today. And, there were some pops off the VWAP and the bone zone and stuff like that. Nothing like so epic, right? But just little cash flow things. Tesla had some okay kind of flushes off, the VWAP. But once again, you're pinching old ladies for nickels on the street, getting a buck here, but that's the market we're in. There is a time and place to make money, and that is when your primary trend, your intermediate trend, and your short-term trend are all pointing higher or lower, but they're in alignment. We don't have that right now, right? And so when you have these mixed signals, right, when you get the mixed signals, it's just a scalper's market. Dude, you take $1, put it in your pocket. What I mean by that is if you're trading Tesla, AMD, whatever, you get $1, put it in your pocket. You get $1, put it in your pocket. Don't even worry if you miss something. I would not, even think twice about all that stuff. So I think the focus for tomorrow, there was some relative strength in semiconductors today for a hot second, due to the TSM earnings, but they faded off, right? They faded off. And so, we got a hot second and then they kind of faded off. And so that play is kind of a little bit dead. But the one that did hold was this NVIDIA, and so that'll probably be something to keep an eye on. It was one of the only green stocks on my list today, that and Meta, right? And Meta still, you gap down and you're holding it. So that's good action on Meta. You got earnings out about 2 weeks, so, we might have a little bit of fun before the earnings. Look, we had a huge gap last time and the time before and the time before. If it's, you can see here, right? So we've gapped up big time, multiple earnings in a row. This thing's getting so long in the tooth. But, dude, it's a $1.3 trillion company. Who would have ever thought, right? Old Zuck gets a lot of shit because he's weird. And he's weird, but, dude, he's got a $1 trillion company. So this is probably in play for tomorrow if we need a long, right? NVIDIA's got a little bit of action over here. I think Taiwan Semiconductor's earnings were out pretty good, and it's holding up here. So I think this would be, top of the list if the market goes. Watch for a break over previous day's highs, and keep things real simple. We could probably just trade the indexes and, and be okay. And then, we'll have a couple of these semiconductor stocks. One thing to just be mindful of, Bitcoin's running hot right now. Coin had some relative strength today. It held its support here. And so you got room back up to probably about 260 before it makes a decision. I would leave, Mara and CLSK alone. They just trade like Shiite. Pun intended, but you got a MSTR, it's up 9%. Look, MSTR is a tricky bastard because it's so expensive, but tomorrow, be 0DT, the options would probably be pretty cheap. Still, you trade small. I'm talking, you put, depending on your account size, right? It's you put a couple G's into it kind of thing, not 10, 20, 30, 40, right? And let it do its work. If the setup is there, I would not really dive too much deeper than that. If we get any strength in CGC, I've been shorting this thing fucking every day, but any strength in CGC, we keep fading it. Any gap in ACB, I think we keep fading it. And leave everything else alone. When the market is like this, we want to be, focused just on the big liquid names. I got some names like AMAT and stuff on the list that I think are okay, but it does 4 million shares in volume. And look at this. It's just wicks and zigzags. And so I think we need more liquidity. I think you go in with Google's got relative strength inside day today for the most part. Right, NVIDIA had relative strength today. These are the ones. And Taiwan Semiconductor, right, 148, breakout. So we've got a handful of things. You got Meta, and then just play the indices, and you're good. I'll hop on YouTube Live tomorrow and we'll dig a little bit deeper and see which way the market rolls, and then we'll have some fun. All right, I love you guys. Peace in the Middle East. That's a 1990s term, maybe even 80s, but heck, man, smash that like button. I love you guys, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll make sure to post a link for the YouTube live too. Peace.